So I'm going to go ahead and start. So one of the things that we started talking about last class that nobody really apparently knew anything about is arithmetic and geometric sequences and series. Yeah. So arithmetic is linear. It means that you're adding each time. So the numbers on the notes, it goes 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. What would the next three numbers be?
13, 15, 17.
15, 17.
Okay, Andrew, I heard your voice. How did you know that it was 13, 15, 17?
Because they counted up by 2 each time.
Okay, so that 2 that he's talking about is called your common difference. And that's right here. This is your common difference. And that's just what you're multiplying by each time. One of my styli, how do you say that, plural? It broke last class, so I don't know what I'm doing today. But if I asked you what is the 300th term of this series, would you want to add to 300 times? Would you want to do that over and over and over again?
Not necessarily.
Yeah. So instead, what we use is this formula right here. And so UN means whatever term. So in this case, we would have U 300 is equal to our U1. Now our U1 is our first term. So what's our first term in this sequence?
3.
13.
3.
3.
Sorry, wrong. Sorry.
Plus our N in this case, we're looking for our 300th. So it would be 300 minus 1 times our common difference, which Andrew told us was 2. So if you were to multiply that out, you would have 3 plus 299 times 2.
Sorry.
Yes, Liz. Yes, Jacqueline.
She was gonna kill me. She was gonna sneeze and cough. I wasn't sneezing. I was fake sneezing on her.
I'm so glad nothing has changed.
Why is it n minus 1?
So it's minus one other term because we have the first term here. So we're basically taking out the first term when you have minus 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I honestly, I do have my calculator. Just kidding.
Oh, there's a graphic calculator app on the App Store just in case for anyone that needs it.
So this is 601.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then on the, does that make sense about arithmetic?
Yes.
So it's just like a linear table. You're looking for what the change each time is. That'll be your common difference. It shouldn't be too bad. Okay, and then on the other side, we have geometric. Now this looks kind of more like an exponential function because you're multiplying every time. So what would the next 3 numbers be?
243.
729 and 2187. 2187. That's Star Wars reference up there.
What was the last one?
2187.
Okay, so what's the pattern here? What's happening?
Multiplying by 3.
Okay, so they're multiplying by 3. So this is called our common ratio. It's the ratio each time, hence common ratio. So that would be our R, and then it follows the same pattern. So if we were looking for the 300th number, personally, I don't want to multiply that out that many times. So instead, now we have U300 is equal to, our first number was 3 times 3, our common ratio, to the n minus 1, and since we're looking for the 300th, minus 1. So that would be 3 times 3 to the 299th power, which in my calculator is an overflow. I don't know about y'all's.
Mine too.
Yeah, same to me.
So a real big number.
Wow.
But you can find any term in a geometric or arithmetic sequence using these formulas. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch to my desktop for a second. So on that note, on Delta Math, I gave you some that are just arithmetic and some that are just geometric, but I also gave you some that are a mixture of both, which means that you just need to be able to figure out which one is which.
Is there Delta Math on the phone?
So this one is just arithmetic, so that'll be the first part of your notes. This one is geometric, which is just the second part of your notes. And then this one is both. So you need to figure out what type this is. So what's happening every time in these numbers?
-6.
Minus
It's
6.
using-
Yeah.
So our common difference would be -6, and then you use the formula to figure it out.
Wait, so addition and subtracting, are you using the first formula and then dividing and multiplying second one?
Yes, that's correct. Let's look at the next one.
So for these, is it mostly gonna be kind of like a guess and check kind of thing, or?
What do you mean guess and check?
You just multiply.
So I mean, going from 2 to 4 to 6 is like +2 + 2 + 2. But like if the numbers are bigger and don't have an instant kind of correlation,
They all have an instant correlation. So one thing
Okay.
you can try is taking the first term minus the second term. So what would you get if you do 311 minus 305?
6.
Okay, and then what's 305 minus 299?
6.
Also 6. Okay.
So the common difference here would be -6 again. Let me just go straight to a geometric one. But this one, you could do the same thing and do what's 10 divided by 5?
2.
And then what's 20 divided by 10?
2.
So that would be your common ratio. So there is always a pattern. So the way to find it is by subtracting or dividing.
Okay.
To figure out what the common difference is or the common ratio is.
So I have a question. So
Yeah.
if it's subtract, so for the common difference, would it be -6 or would it just be 6?
If the numbers are getting smaller, then it would be -6.
Okay.
So if it was going 20, 10, 0, then that would be subtracting. But if it's going 0, 10, 20, then it's multiplying. Same thing for this one. If this went 20, 10, 5 instead, then it would be 1/2 instead of 2.
20. Oh, it'd be 1/2. Okay.
Okay. Makes sense?
Yeah.
All right. So you also have an additional homework assignment. And that one is even more of a priority than the Delta Math, just because we're using it for class tomorrow. So the activity that I'm going to have you guys do is somewhere around your house. I want you to take items and create either an arithmetic or a geometric sequence or series, or you can come up with one that's a trick, like one that looks like one but isn't. And what I mean by this is, like, I could take a picture of 1 Oreo and then 3 Oreos and then 5 Oreos and then 7 Oreos.
Okay.
What kind of sequence would that be?
So if we don't find anything around the house, which I doubt, but in case that happens, can we just, for example, have a picture online or something like that and use those, or?
You can, but you should be able to find something around your house. If it's pins, if it's pieces of cereal, if it's toothbrushes, if it's, I don't really care what it is. I'd prefer it be something around your house, because what we're going to do, don't tell everybody what it is. You're going to send it to me on a Google slide, and we'll do a presentation of it tomorrow. We'll figure out the problems, but then we're going to try to guess who it belongs to.
So is it geometric sequences are essentially where you divide or multiply to get to the next number, and arithmetic are when you subtract and add.
Yes, and technically it's always adding. You'd just be adding negative numbers, and it's always multiplying. You're just multiplying by a fraction.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay.
Anybody else? Any other questions?
Do you want us to do that first, then the delta math?
Yes. I just need it sometime today, sooner rather than later, so that I can have it ready for class tomorrow.
So where is that?
Where's what?
The homework that you just said.
I'll type up the directions, I guess. I mean.
Oh wait, sorry. No, I just asked the dumbest question. I zoned out. Sorry. No, I'll do it with Oreos. Never mind.
Do you want us to send it to you on Google Classroom or on Remind?
On Google Classroom.
Okay.
If you can go ahead and put it in a Google slide, that would be even more helpful so that I can just copy and paste the slides together.
Okay.
That was a dumb question. Sorry.
Okay, so make sure you don't tell people what you're doing.
Yeah.
Wait, can me and Liz do one together?
No, you need to do separate ones.
What? But she's in my house.
Cheater.
Okay, so snap a Snapchat real quick, and when she's not paying attention.
No. We'll just play hide and seek while you're counting. No, while you're hiding, I'll do it.
Y'all are so dumb.
Yeah. Jesus is my gosh. There's a lot.
Anybody else? Any other questions?
No.
Okay.
I have an extended question.
Yeah, what's your question?
Like, I just saw I saw like other series with which are not like have difference or like the exponential difference. Like it's not 5, 10, 20, but it's like a sequence, but it's not exactly like
right
the same difference.
Yeah.
What do we do with them?
There won't be any of those on here.
I know, yes, but like I'm just wondering.
Like, what is that called?
Yeah, what is that called? And like if there's any formula for it?
I don't think it has a name, and I don't think it has a formula. You can come up with patterns, I guess, but most of them are going to be geometric or arithmetic, at least for this class.
Great. Thank you.
All right. So if y'all are all good, then y'all are good to go. Sorry, no, you're not. So your tests, I finished grading them, but in order for me to send them to you, I'm going to have to basically take pictures of every page for every single one of your tests, which is a lot. So I'll start sending them out as soon as I can so that you can start on test corrections. But it might take me a little bit longer than what it normally does.
How do you want us to send test corrections? Do you want us to just take a picture of them and email them to you?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Actually, you won't email them to me. I'll have a Google assignment, so you can just submit them there. That way they're all in one place.
Okay.
Your test corrections on a computer.
You can. Just keep in mind that you have to write them all out, and that might include formulas. But if you want to type formulas, that's fine by me.
Yeah, on the Word you can do exponents and
yeah, I mean, I know it's just more time consuming.
Yeah.
But if you want to, that's wonderful, Leonard. I'd love to not have to read your handwriting. I like the lag in the laugh after the joke. Thank you.
Okay, no to miss.
Stop.
Does anybody else have any questions about the test or what you're doing tonight?
What are you doing tonight?
I'm so done. I'm going to be doing all of my lessons for tomorrow. That's what I'm doing.
The quarantine rules.
Okay, you know what? My grade only went down 2 points.
Miss Thompson.
Yes.
Alyssa texted me and said, "Say hi."
Okay.
Oh, Alyssa.
Alyssa,
wait, Tomas.
Tomas comments.
Is here, Alyssa?
Did Miss Thompson leave?
Wow, it's really cool.
Miss Thompson.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes, Sonia.
Can we solve out one problem? I know I sound lame, but like, can we just do something?
Oh my god.
even on Zoom.
Okay, so Sonia, this problem that's up on the screen,
Yeah.
what's happening every single time?
Multiply by 2.
Okay, so if you're multiplying by 2, then your R is 2, and it's asking for the 13th term. So using the formula, this is a geometric. What's our U1?
U1 would be 5, right?
5, times 2 to the, we do 13 minus 1, which is 12, which after I type it into my calculator.
Wait, it would be 13.
Oh, okay, now.
Why?
Wait, why is it 12?
Yeah, why is it?
Because n minus 1.
Because the formula is n minus 1.
What's the
What is
n?
n?
The
N
term
is
that-
the number of the term that they ask for.
In this case, it would
Oh,
be
so
Oh,
13.
This
Okay.
is technically, whoops.
Minus 1.
You might have to go home, Jacqueline. I don't know about this one.
Y'all know what I'm trying to type.
You are over there.
13 minus 1. That's it?
everyone go share.
Well, you type it into your calculator, which in this case is
Oh, okay.
2480.
So for the formula, is it U1 equals U what?
No, it's U and girl. What? The notes are on your
I
computer.
just,
Right
I
here.
just wanted to make sure because I was confused, but I
Okay.
understand.
It's UN is equal to U1
R.
raised to
To
the power
N.
of n minus 1.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else? Any other questions?
Nope.
So like we're done. Can we do
Yeah.
delta math homework and we're done?
I'm done for today. I'm trying to take this week really easy. Next
Me
week
too.
I'm running again. But please make sure you've sent me your
Slides.
syllabi and
How
your
many
pictures.
numbers should it be?
Trying my best.
Like in the sequence that we chose?
You need at least 3 numbers to figure out what type of sequence or series it is. You can do more if you want to.
Just the picture of the amount of the thing that we chose, right?
Right. So I could do if you want to do it this way, just to make it even more clear, you could take a picture, say, of, oh my gosh.
I do not want to know the that would be number 4. Okay.
So you could take a picture, like if on Snapchat even, and say you took a picture of a bunch of Oreos, and I have 1 Oreo, and then I had 3 Oreos, and then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then on Snapchat, you know how after you take a picture, you can edit and draw on it. Then you could do like this to help people know what the.
So do the examples. Do they have to be arithmetic, or do they have to be geometric, or can we just decide which one?
You decide. I don't care.
Okay.
You could also do one that's what Knock was talking about, basically. So let me see. I could do
1, 5, 13.
I could do 2, 3, 4, 5, and then so if I had this one, so this one goes 2, 5, 7.
Okay.
Does that have a pattern though?
You add the 1 from this, right?
Right, but is that arithmetic or geometric?
No.
So you can trip people up a little bit with stuff like that if you wanted to, but we need some that are actual real examples.
Okay.
But yeah. So you'll just take a picture of something. If you have like dogs or something like that, we all love pictures of dogs.
How many dogs?
Alive.
So Miss Thompson, on the syllabus, is this the stuff that we're supposed to know?
What?
The syllabus is the stuff we're supposed to know, right?
You're supposed to highlight the stuff that you don't know.
I know, but this is the stuff that we're supposed to already know, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Watch Joaquin highlight nothing at all.
No, I'm highlighting a few. No, I'm highlighting a few things. Just that I know some of them in Spanish, so it's like I'm not sure if it means that. So I'm highlighting things I'm like worried about.
Joaquin's not gonna highlight anything, but he's just probably gonna highlight everything in pink because he has it before. He just doesn't remember.
Like, do numbers look different?